Kuzuzampo. Good morning, everyone. So right now, me and my friend Ajikarma, we are planning to do the Nubtshonapatra trek. Right now, we are here at the Ha, and at my backdrop, you can see a beautiful temple. That is the starting point of the Nubtshonapatra trek, and the name of this temple is Janadingha Temple. So last night we drove all the way from Thimphu, and we spent the night over here at this temple, whereby the lum of this temple was quite generous to allow us to spend the night over here. And so today we will be hiking almost for 5 to 6 hours. Estimated the time would be like around 5 to 6 hours hike from here towards our first campsite. That is gonna be the Omji campsite, and then uh, uh, estimated distance would be around 14 kilometer. But let's see how long does it take for us to reach up there. And from here, this would be the trail which goes up to the Nubtshonapatra. So if you follow me, so this way it goes literally up to the Nubtshonapatra. So keep watching lah. Thank you. Right here you can see a beautiful map, though it has worn out, but still then we can vividly see a little bit of an information about this Nubtshonapatra trek. So just to give you some clear idea about this Nubtshonapatra trek, I will tell you something about this map. Okay, so this is the starting point where we are at the moment, known as Janadingha, which is having the height of 3,200 meter above the sea level. And as I'm not sure whether you can see it clearly or not. So later, our first campsite for tonight, it's gonna be on the Omji. The name of that place is known as Omji. And over here we have some information saying that from Janadingha to the Omji, it takes around 6 to 7 hours. So that's a basically an estimated time, but it all depends on individual. And then along the way, it is there is a high chances of spotting a Myconopsis simplicifolia, and then some yak herders, and there is a high chances of seeing a Tibetan snowcock and a blue sheep and some marks deer as well. So those are the expected one. And tonight we're gonna be here at this Omji, which is having the elevation of 3,720 meters above the sea level. And on the next day, we're gonna be making up till the Nubtshonapatra. And from the Omji towards the Nubtshonapatra, it is gonna be almost like 8 hours of an distance coverage. And then the elevation of the Nubtshonapatra would be around 4,200 meter above the sea level. So that's how we're gonna be covering from here all the way till this point, and from here till our destination. And on the final day, we're gonna be taking a different route and going all the way back to our starting point. So that's the overall view of this Nubtshonapatra trek. Thank you. We have been hiking for almost like 45 minutes, starting from the starting point, and now we have reached to our first ridge line. And here we have this open space as well, and this is where we met with our horse. And the elevation over here is 3,500 meter above the sea level, and we are almost near the place called Tshodag, which used to be the initial point of the campsite. Thank you. So right now we have reached to a place where you will see a diversion over here. So even over here you can see a signboard over here which says Tshodag. So back in those days, when there wasn't a farm road or feudal road connecting between the main heart town and then the Janadingha temple from where we started today, back then people like all those tourists who used to do the Nubtshonapatra trek, they have to start all the way from the heart town. And at that time, since it was pretty longer distance, So their first campsite used to be over here, which is known as a Tsokam campsite. And over there, we can see some canopy kind of things as well. But now with the modernization, now you can, those who have done the trek or those who doesn't have an idea, just for your information, now we have a feudal road connecting between the town and then the Janadinka temple. So since we are starting from the Janadinka, and while coming to this point, it doesn't take it usually takes around 1.5 hours. So by then when we reach here, it's too early for us to do the camp over here. So that's why now we don't usually do the camp over here, but we still further go up this way and we go to the Omji campsite. But still then there are certain clients or the tourists who are not able to like walk that fast, or they are not really like good in the hiking. So for those people who are very slow hikers, what they would prefer would be like they can still prefer to hold the night over here in this campsite as well. And this campsite isn't that high as well, so elevation over here would be around 3,600 meter above the sea level. Thank you.
Here comes Mr. Jerry, the trekker. He's been trekking the inner Himalayas, trying to explore all the trekking routes in Bhutan. Here he goes. Yeah, into the misty mountains of Bhutan.
So it's been roughly around 2 to 2.5 hours depending on our pace. So the entire trail was through the forest kind of thing, and now we have reached to a place where we are now in an open meadow. And over here we are not sure about the name of this place, but over here we have a giant canopy as well. And now the elevation over here is around 3,900 meter, and we still got to continue following that trail and crossing that ridge line as well, which goes towards the Nubtshonapatra track. Thank you.
Kuzampola. Right now I'm on the trail of Nubtshonapatra trek, and then over here I've just picked up this stone. These are actually supposed to be the prayer beads of Ajijaza, or the Chinese princess who was married to King Songtsen Gyalpo in the 7th century. So according to the oral history of Bhutan, she is said to have actually come to Bhutan, and then was also the one who introduced the backstrap loom here in Bhutan, whereby the women over here in Bhutan started the art of weaving. And she's also a celebrated figure here in Bhutan, and also said to have scattered the seeds of the Himalayan herbs, whereby the name Menjong Drukgyal actually came into existence before the country was named as Bhutan. So these stones, you don't find these stones elsewhere. Only in this stretch of the trail is visible. I still have the stone over here on my hand, which is actually supposed to be the from the broken beads of Ajijaza. So how you can actually differentiate this rock from the other round pebbles is by the weight of the rock. This rock, if you compare the weight of this rock and then you see this rock which is bigger than this rock compared to this round one, but the weight is quite similar. So it actually kind of contains some metallic ingredients or something mineral in it. So that's why the weight is heavier compared to the normal rocks.
Lagelo. It's been roughly around 4 hours that we have been hiking all the way from the Janadinga temple, and right now we are here at the pass known as a Tsabjela Pass, and which is around 4,100 meter above the sea level. Before we continue from here, I just wanted to talk to you about the junction which we just come across, that mountain which is as you can see over there, which is getting covered by the clouds right over there. Earlier we couldn't shoot a video because we were getting wet by the rain. It was raining over there, so we had to continue our walk. So right over there, what you will come across is, you will come across a junction where there is a signboard as well. So the moment you reach over there, always try to take the left hand side, okay, where on the signboard you will come across a name called Omji, which would be the campsite for today, where we will be spending the night over there. And then day after tomorrow we'll be like going forward towards the Nubtshonapatra lake, and then day after tomorrow we'll be taking the another route, and eventually as we take the another route we will be eventually joining that junction as well. So just for the beginners, it's a like a reminder so that you won't get confused or get lost at that junction as well. So with this one we continue further this way, where we will be reaching our campsite for tonight. Thank you. Finally, after hiking for almost like 5 hours, we finally made it to our campsite, the Omji campsite. So what happened was, right after we reached to that right after that Tsabjula pass, we went straight almost for it was almost 15 minutes of a flat area, flat surface, and from that point, like it's right up there in the mountain, and from there we had been hiking very steep down through this forest, and we had to cross almost like 3 to 4 small bridges, crossing some streams, and from there we finally made it to our campsite. So this is our campsite. So if you can pan the camera so I can show you some facility over here. So over here we have a proper shelter over here. That's where our trekking crew would be staying, where we're gonna be cooking inside as well. And for our stay, this is where we will be sleeping tonight, in a proper tent with proper equipments and the gear as well. And then we do have a washroom over there, which is quite a proper one. And then just to add on to this one, so the elevation of this campsite is around 3,700 meter, so which is quite doable. So I would recommend everyone to go for it. Thank you. Hi everyone. So it's our day 2. We're on the way towards the Nubtshonapatra. So yesterday we happened to stop here for the night, and we did the camp over here. The name of this campsite is the Omji campsite, and today we are heading towards the Nubtshonapatra lake, the main destination of this trek. And for this one, so today it's gonna be like distance wise it's gonna be around 14 kilometer, that's an estimated one, but compared to the yesterday, today it's gonna be much longer, because along the way we have to be like climbing uphill, and we are expected to have some incline uphill, and we are expected to have almost like 3 pass to cross as well. So due to that one, time estimation would be around 6 to 8 hours as well, so depending on that one. And yesterday it was quite cloudy, so we couldn't see much of a thing, but today the weather seems to be getting much better, so we expect to see more of an view and more of an like some flowers as well. Thank you. So it's been almost an hour that we have been hiking all the way from the Wonju campsite. And the Wonju campsite, if you look over there, it's right below the valley, right below that valley. And from the Wonji campsite, we have been like coming to like very steep uphill climb, and from there we have been like coming this way. And then over here the trail isn't that visible properly, so for those beginners it might be very difficult. But what you can make it out is, on a very clear sky, you can see the pass over there, which has been denoted by some pile of stones over there. So even if there isn't a proper trail, you can still try to go incline up and then try to reach to that point as well. And the name of that pass is known as a Konchela. Lagelo, 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 lagelo. After 1.5 hours, we have literally reached to a pass known as a Gonchela, which is having the height of 4,200 meter. So we have come from a very long way from the down the valley, but today also there isn't much of a view, so we are not able to see much of a landscape over here as well. So let's hope we have a better view as we continue. And now we're gonna continue further this way, right to this corner. So after crossing the first pass, Konchela Pass, we have been coming down the valley, not straight down the valley, but in a like a gentle slope down the hill. And then after crossing this bridge, now we are, if you can pan the camera, now we have to climb this ridge up the mountain and go for the second pass. So the second pass is gonna be through that forest kind of a thing, and then we're gonna go up to the second pass. And once we reach up there, I'm gonna talk more about the pass as well. Thank you. So especially after crossing that Gonchela and coming down the valley, and while going up to the second pass, you're gonna be coming across this trail. And this position, I feel like this is commonly the landslide prone area as well, so there isn't much of a proper trail, and it's very slippery as well. So whenever you are over here, you need to be very extra cautious as well. because once you're gone means you will be like gone down the valley and you would be gone for life as well. Hello. Hello. So finally, almost after 3 hours, more than 3 hours, I believe, since we have been taking some break along the way, we have made it to the highest point in this trek, in this Nubtshonapatra trek. The highest point would be this one, known as a Tshodag Pass, which is having the height of 4,300 meter above the sea level. So this is gonna be the highest point. Right after crossing the Gonchila Pass, we came down the valley, and from the valley then we again had to climb up in a very gentle slope and made it till this point, the highest point over here, Tshodag Pass. And one thing you might have noticed me doing over here, so it's in our local custom whereby whenever we go up in the mountain and whenever we are almost there at the pass, we have this custom whereby we try to pick a flower or either some rocks and we try to carry it along with us. And the moment we reach to the pass, we had to say Hagelo, which means the God victory over the evil, and then we offer it over here. The reason for doing that one is basically we are trying to please the local deity and the spirit of this mountain for good weather, and at the same time we are trying to seek their protection so that we can have a safe passage to our destination and all the way back to our home as well. So this is something which you have to do whenever we are up in the mountain as well. Thank you. At the moment the weather seems to be much better with a more of a beautiful view, the scenery. So at the backdrop of me over there, if you can zoom in, over there at the ridge line, that's the first pass of the day, the Gangchila Pass, the 4,200 meter that we have climbed, and we came all the way down to the valley, and from the valley we have started up all the way till this uh, Tshodag Pass, the 4,300 meter. And the moment we reach over at this pass, over here we have a signboard as well. So if you come closer, I can show you the signboard. So now this is interesting actually. So when you look at the signboard, the direction shows that this way down is the Nubtshonapatra. It's literally written over here in our local term. And then there is another sign which shows that Thanglam over there. So now it's get interesting over here now. If you follow this signboard and if you go down, it's quite a long way going down the valley, and from the valley again you have to climb up as well. So this is where people find it very difficult. So while you are going for the trekking, this trail is been mostly used by the horsemen because that's where they find it very easy for the animal, I guess. But for the client, we won't recommend that one. So for the client, I would recommend this trail, so which is the Thanglam. So what we're gonna do is, over there you might see our crew member as well, our lunch boy who happened to go ahead of us. So there what we're gonna do is, we're gonna have a gentle slope climb towards that ridge line, not to the tip, but over almost there at the tip line, but not little on the top, the black rock over there. And from there we're gonna go behind that mountain. So that's how I would recommend whenever you do this trek as well. So come, let's follow, let's go this way. Lagelo, 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 lagelo. So since we took a different route from that Tshodag Pass, so this would be the highest point in this Nubtshonapatra trek, which I would name it as a Tshodag Peak, since we came quite high up in the mountain, and the elevation over here would be 4,400 meter above the sea level. So if you come over here, I could show you the Jala. Sajala is down there where you see a barren slope kind of thing. Over there, there is a three spotted thing. So from there, if you go that way, it's a different route, but we came this way up for a better view of these mountains kind of thing. And then if we continue, this is where we're gonna be going. So from here, it's much easier. So from here, it's gonna be flat, and then it's all downhill till we reach to the campsite. Lo suna 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 lo suna lo suna 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 lo suna 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 lo suna suna suna. So finally, after 5 hours, between 5 to 6 hours of an hike from Omji campsite, we finally made it to our final destination, the Nubtshonapatra campsite. The elevation over here is around 4,170 meter, and the very good news is, though the weather seems to be quite gloomy and foggy and cloudy along the way, but we are quite fortunate to have the glimpse of the Nubtshonapatra lake. So if you pan the camera over here, right over there you can see the Nubtshonapatra. So it's a dream come true for me as well, since I had been dreaming to come over here, and finally I could make it over here. So let's have a glimpse of this one, and later after having a rest for a while and having some tea, we're gonna go further down and then have a proper video and then have a proper glimpse of the lake as well. Thank you. Hi everyone. So earlier when we came to see the lake, we were down there at the end of the lake. Over there it wasn't a good angle to capture the whole view of the lake. So what we did was we came all the way in an inclined way up till this point, and from here, as you can see, you have a better view of the aerial view of the lake. So just to give you some idea, next time if you come over here, especially for the lake, I know with our naked eye we can see it much better from any angle, but for the picture and the video, this would be the recommended area. Okay, so you try to come on the little bit on the higher point from where you have aerial view. And just to give you some information about this lake, now it has become quite a popular, whereby even if you Google it or even if you ask anyone, most of the people have this information about this lake, saying that in the 15th century, Terton Sherub Mebar, who was a great treasure discoverer, who happened to come over here, and he is believed to have come on a mission to abstract a golden pillar from this lake, whereby just to get the golden pillar, he happened to swallow the whole entire water of this lake inside his mouth, and then he asked some of his carpenter to go down in the bed of the lake and chop the golden pillar in a required size, and whatever the pieces, those remaining pieces came out, the chip were given as an reward for the carpenter. And then people were quite greedy, whereby they started chopping for more, which was shortening the required size of the golden pillar as well. So in order to warn the carpenter, he couldn't say anything, but since people were trying to chop it into more pieces, so he had to warn them, and in order to warn them, he literally had to speak out. So at the end of the like finally he happened to open his mouth to like stop the carpenter, and whereby the lake has bursted out from his mouth, and then the entire like carpenter is believed to be like drowned inside this lake. So that's a common belief and a story related with this one. But let me tell you something, that's a cook up story. That's not a right story actually, because I came along with some horsemen who are the local residents of this half valley, and they happened to correct me, whereby it is believed that the Terton Sherub Mebar has come over here, but it wasn't the golden pillar or the other religious items that he had abstract from this one. It is believed that whenever we go to the ha drinks the ha, I mean sorry, whenever we go to the Paro during the Paro festival, the Sechu, there we come across with the nga la. The nga in English we call it rim. So we come across the rim, which in English we call it as a symbol. And that symbol, one of the pair, the symbol has been believed to be abstract from this lake. But the rest is believed to be like abstract from the other part of the lake, which it goes way beyond our journey as well. So that's something to correct over here. But if I'm mistaken, and if someone of you think like you have a better stories to narrate, please do comment as well. Thank you. Hello, good morning everyone. So it's our third day of the Nubtshonapatra trek. So basically this is our campsite, the Nubtshonapatra trek, where we spent the night yesterday. uh so today we'll be heading towards our next campsite, which is known as a Tsang campsite. We will be almost going the same route until we cross the Gangchenla pass, and after that Gongchela, then we'll be having a diversion for the next campsite la. So before that one, what I wanted to show you is, I want to show you something very beautiful. Okay, so this is the place where you would be able to spot the world third highest mountain la. If you can zoom in, so there you will see the world third highest mountain, known as a Kanchenjunga, which is having the height of 8,585 meter above the sea level. So that's the beauty of this place, where you are having a glimpse of that mountain as well. And then another thing is, if you can pan the camera over here, right behind me, that's the Nubtshonapatra lake, which we basically, this is the reason why we have come over here. Right now you are only able to see just a glimpse of the it, but yesterday we have gone down and we have looked for a better spot from where we could see the entire lake as well. And I want to give you one information. If you ever do this trek, and if you're looking for a better weather like this, kind of an beautiful sunny weather with a beautiful landscape view, then the most recommended season would be month would be around October to November. So that's the best month to come over here. And if you are looking for like a time where you wanna have a beautiful flower around this area, then the recommended month would be around May to June. Okay, so that's the information about this place. Thank you. Hi everyone. So we're still on the way to our next campsite, which is the Tsang campsite. Before that one, what I wanted to show you was, if you look on the tip of that mountain, that's the Tsajela peak, and right behind that one, if we still walk for another 30 to 40 minutes, that's where we have the Nubtshonapatra campsite. And then a little bit down in the saddle, that's where we have the Tsajela pass, and we came the same way down. And right now we are in the literally in the middle of these two passes as well. One is the Tsajela pass, and if you pan the camera, over there you can see the saddle. That's the Gonchela Pass, and we still have to climb all the way to that pass and go down the pass. And somewhere in the middle, on the way, we will come across a diversion which says Nubtshonapatra and the Tsang. So we have to go to the Tsang campsite in that direction. And whenever you are on the trek, you have to always make sure to have a walking pole, which really helps, especially going down the hill, so that your knees and the thigh won't hurt much a lot. And at the same time, you have to have enough of a water, and you have to drink quite at the regular interval, so that you are hydrated and you don't have much of an issue on hike as well. Thank you. Hi everyone. So today we are having a very pleasant weather with a very beautiful landscape and the view as well. So for last 2 days we couldn't have a clear weather, so we couldn't see much of a view. So over here, what I wanted to show you was, if you can zoom over there at that a mountain next to that one, that's the first pass that we cross on the first stela, which is between the Janadinka campsite to Omji campsite. So that's the first pass that we cross on the first day, known as a Tsabjola Pass, which is having elevation of 4,100 meter above the sea level. And Omji campsite is down in the valley in that forest, which is our first campsite. And then from there we came all the way up till this point, and this is the Gonchela Pass, which has been denoted by these two pile up of the stones as well. And on the second day, Omji campsite, we crossed this pass, and we literally went crossing that pass as well. If we can zoom, you will see a peak of that mountain, which is known as the Tsajela, which is around 4,400 meter, and right below is the campsite for the second day, known as a Nubtshonapatra campsite. How you go to reach to this so basically we have crossed these three mountain passes as well, and today we came all the way crossing that pass, coming down the valley, and from down the valley we again climb up to this pass as well. So right now we are at the Gonchela Pass. So for today, after crossing the Tsajela Pass and the Gonchela Pass, our next campsite is right behind that ridge line, known as a Tsang campsite, whereby you can see the trail going down there as well on the slope of the mountain. And if you can zoom up at the yaks, you can see on the ridgeline there you have some few yaks, and right behind that one is our campsite for today. And then on the way to our campsite, it is expected that we will be coming across two lakes. Given the chance, if the weather are very clear, I can show you a good video of our lake as well. So stay tuned for the lake. Thank you. Tsang campsite. Hi everyone. So right now, after having 4 hours of an hike, we basically came through that ridge line. If you can zoom it over there, campsite for tonight would be over there. If you can zoom it over there as well, there you will see a stable house with a tent over there. That's our campsite for tonight, known as a Tsang campsite. Now, when we started from that ridge line, we have a trail going straight to our campsite, But from the trail, we climb a little bit up on this hilly area, mainly to show you a beautiful lake. So if you can come along with me, I can show you a beautiful lake as well. Come. So this is the beautiful lake known as a Ringotsho, which literally translates as a drum lake. Ringotsho literally has been derived from the incident whereby back in the 15th century, Terton Sherub Mebar, who happened to come all the way from the Tibet, he was over here in a mission to retrieve some religious object from a lake known as a Ringotsho, which is a little bit further from the Nubtshonapatra lake. Since we haven't gone there, so I cannot show you which location it could be there, but it's way too far from the Nubtshonapatra. So as per the oral history, it is believed that Terton Sherub Mebar has consumed the whole entire lake and abstract the treasure from the lake, but due to some incident whereby he happened to open his mouth and then the lake got released, and then the deity of the lake happened to chase him after him, and he came all the way from Ringotsho towards this place. And the moment he reached over here, it is believed that in order to distract the deity from catching him, it is believed that he happened to drop one of the drum over here, the religious drum, which we call it as a nga. So the moment he dropped it over here, the lake is believed to have formed out of that drum as well. So that's how the name of this lake has been named after that drum known as a Ringotsho. And then if we go now, we're gonna go this way round, and then right over there we have another lake. So we're gonna walk till that point, and I'm gonna show you another lake. By the way, the elevation over here is around 4,100 meters above the sea level. Thank you. So come now, let's go that way. So as you can see right behind me, after walking from that Ringotsho, we have been walking for almost like around 5 to 10 minutes. Now over here, what I wanted to show you is, so if you can pan the camera over here, right below this point, this is another lake known as Ringotsho. Ringotsho literally translate as a drumstick, okay, but not the chicken drumstick, the drumstick of an religious object, which is like this one. So as per the oral history, Terton Sherub Mebar back in the 15th century, who was already a predestined treasure discoverer, who came from the Tibet, and as I earlier told you, when he retrieved the religious object, the treasure, from the Ringotsho, he happened to come all the way over here, and that's where the previous lake, that's where he dropped the drum, and later when he reached over here, that's where he left the drumstick, the ngato. So that's how the lake has been formed as well. But looking at the shape of the lake, it is the shape of the lake is quite in a shape of like a white conch. But when it comes to the shapes and all these things, we have no idea, but that's how it's been believed. And again, to rectify those miscommunications and the misconception over here, so all the people say that all those the drum, and then the drumstick, and then the symbol, which can be seen still down in the Paro Dzong during the festival, is people usually tend to believe that those are the one which are been abstract from the that one Nubtshonapatra lake. But again, to correct those things, Ringotsho and then the nga, and then the ngato is believed to be like abstract from the Ringotsho, okay. So it was just the rim, which we call it as a symbol, is only said to be retrieved from the Nubtshonapatra lake. So that's something to correct over here. But I could be wrong, but that's what I have been told by the local residents over here. So I could be wrong, but if I'm wrong, so you can always correct me. So the lake, it's quite magnificent and quite beautiful. And now we're gonna go all the way this way down, and that's where you can see our campsite as well. Campsite. In this Nubtshonapatra trek, since we are doing within 3 nights and 4 days, we are not going beyond the Nubtshonapatra. But if people are having longer duration of 7 days or 8 days, then they can even go further towards the Ringotsho as well. Ringotsho. But this time we are not having much of a time, so we just plan for this one. Typically, the normal tourists who are visiting and doing the Nubtshonapatra trek, they don't even go to the Ringotsho. So it could be the local residents who wanna do a local pilgrimage. Those are the one who basically go to the Ringotsho. So that's all. Thank you. After 5 hours of an hike, we finally made it to our third day campsite, which is the Dzong campsite. So this is our campsite. That's our Aja Karma. Good morning, everyone. So today is our fourth day of the Nubtshonapatra trek and the final day of the trek as well. So right now we are here at the Dzong campsite. So today we'll be all the way exiting back to our starting point. So we'll be going all the way from here till the Janadinka, where we all started our first trek. And on the way, we'll be having a visit to one of the lake as well, known as a Tso, which literally translate as a sickle lake. And then we're gonna be getting down the valley and ending our trek for today. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been 20 minutes that we have been hiking from our Tsang campsite. Actually, from here we could see the two lake that we have visited yesterday, but right now the cloud has come up and now it has been covered both the lake. But still, if you look over there, you can still see our horse and the horsemen coming from that ridge line, which look quite amazing as well through the mystical clouds. Actually from this point on a very clear sky, earlier it was very like a very clear sky, and at that time we could see down there on a open meadow where we could see our first campsite, the Omji campsite. But out of nowhere the clouds appear and now it has been fully covered. We're gonna go still further, continue towards the place where we could have a glimpse of the another lake. Thank you. Hi everyone. So we started from the Tsang campsite and we had to like go uphill for around 20 minutes, and after that one it was all like on a flat surface, and we had been hiking for almost 2 hours, and after that one we reached to a place whereby we came out of the way and we climbed a little bit uphill, basically to have a visit to this beautiful lake. So this beautiful lake is known as a Tso. Tso is a local term which literally translate as in sickle. So the literal translation of this lake would be the lake of a sickle. So this is also a beautiful lake as well. And regarding this one, we don't have much of an information, so just wanted to show you the pristine beautiful lake. And apart from this one, we don't have any idea the significance and what happened over here. Most probably it is quite related to that of the visit of the Terton Terton Sherub Mebar. So those who are watching this video, and if you know anything about this lake, you can always comment on this video lah. Thank you. Hi, hi everyone. So basically, we started from the Tsang campsite, and from the Tsang campsite, if we walk continuously, then somewhere at that ridge line, just behind that first ridge line that we can see over here, there we have one information board which has been like posted over here by the uh, Department of Park and Services. Over there is an information about the white poppy, and from there, if you walk a little bit uphill almost for 5 to 10 minutes, there you might, like, if you can zoom over there, you might see some rocky area, like barren rocks over there, the black rocks. So right below that one we have the lake which I showed earlier, the sickle lake. The in local term we call it as Ringotsho. And from there, rather than going down to the main trail, we can still come straight this way as well. And from that lake till this point, it was around 5 to 10 minutes of an hike. And then over here, what you can see is so now you try to pan the camera towards me. So over here, what you can see is, you will see a landmark over here. Okay, so there we have 5 of those pillar kind of thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a very important landmark. Okay, so there is a legendary story behind this formation of this landmark. So what happened was, back in the 15th century, I told you the story day before, I mean yesterday as well. So back in 15th century, a great treasure discovered, Terton Sherub Mebar. Terton Sherub Mebar, when he retrieved lots of treasure, like religious treasure, from those Ringotsho, he happened to be chased by the local deity of that lake, and after dropping some of the treasure in the Nubtshonapatra and Ringotsho, and when he reached over here, it is believed that at this particular moment, the local chief deity of the Ha, who is known as the Upchundu, is have appeared over here, and then he became the mediator between the deity of the lake and then the Terton Sherub Mebar, whereby they three gather and they three made this promise, saying that henceforth, for the future, like generation, the descendant of the lake deity would not cross beyond this point, and the descendant of those Terton Sherub Mebar, they would not cross, they would not come crossing beyond this point up hill. So this is something, the landmark, whereby both the party has decided to respect, and till date no one has literally done. And there are a certain incident whereby the people, if they go beyond this promise, then their health could be like deteriorated, or they might get lost, kind of things as well. So that's a general like belief regarding this place lah. So this is one of the most beautiful landmark over here in this track as well. Thank you lah. Hi. So it's been 3 hours that we have been continuously hiking along the way, visiting some lake, just one lake. And right now, at the moment, we have reached to a very beautiful viewpoint lah. So at my backdrop, what you can see is, if you zoom down there, that's the Ha Chundu school lah. Down there you see a big building down there, and if you can go straight up through that village, and that's where the Sagala tracks goes through as well. And next to that Upchundu school, there you will see the Yangthang Gemba as well, which is a initial point for the Ha Paranoma hike as well. And then if you can zoom on that corner of this ridge line, there you will see our Jana Dinka, the temple, which you might be able to see through some trees. So that's our starting point of the Nubtshonapatra trek, as well as the ending point for today lah. So it's been 3 hours that we have been hiking, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna still continue this villa. So there you might see our trail, and we might have to go crossing that ridge line. So over there we have a diversion, which I will show you later, where there is a signboard saying showing towards the Omji campsite and then the Janadingha campsite. So let's continue. Thank you. So this is the diversion which you will come across on the first day as well. So on the first day, when you go for the Nubtshonapatra trek, this is where you're gonna be going, where you will come across with a name called Omji campsite. And while you return from the Tsa, this is where you will be coming as well, the above one, where you will come across with a name called Tsa Degor. So the campsite from where we started for today, and this is the important junction as well. So thank you. Hi everyone. So after 5 hours we have finally reached to our end point. So this is the end of the end point of our Nubtshonapatra trek. This is the same point from where we begin our trek as well. The temple that you see at my backdrop would be the Janadingha trek. Janadingha temple, and the distance wise, it's roughly around 14 kilometer as well. And if you guys remember from the last video, the point from where we had the junction, no, from that point it was one way only, so there isn't much of a point from where you can get lost, so you just need to come the same way back. So with this one, thanks to my friend Ajay Karma, who accompanied on this trek, and the trek became quite successful, and we had a good experience of this one. So in case if any travel agent wants to hire a guide who have a good idea of this trek, so you guys can contact any of us. Thank you everyone. So keep watching. Thank you.